Okay, great. Okay. Um, I'm Mohammed Kabir Idris. I work full time for a company in Abuja, doing my MSc, and I love Scala so much. And I started Scala since back then in 2012. So I've been in social media and or part of the organizing committee for Abuja We Could. I don't know if any of you know that group, Abuja Developer Meetup Group. So basically today I'm just going to brush a little on um, high order functions. And basically high order functions we know the functions they take primitive values, they take integers, they take boolean, they take strings. But high order functions are functions that take other functions as arguments in them. I believe most of us have played around with JavaScript jQuery, right? Hello?
Yes, yes,
Hello? Yeah.
yes.
Okay. So if you have used the Ajax method, the Ajax to make a post or get request, then you must have a sense of what high order functions is. If you could recall, in the Ajax, you have this uh, $ dot Ajax dot post, then the URL, then the data, then you have this function, open bracket, you place your response and you close it. So you put a function inside that decides what happened. That's also a high order function in JavaScript. So most functional languages have this. We have also these high order functions that instead of returning a boolean in your function or a string or any of these primitive data types, you can return a function. You can return a function. So basically, we'll look because from most of the conversation I had, I see we have a lot of newbies into Scala. So I made much effort in looking at the first aspect, which is this. That is allow behaviors to be passed as in a parameter of a function. So Scala collections have a lot of these high order functions in them. If you have seen the map, filter, define, distinct, fold left, scan, fold right, partition, group by, zip width, all these are high order functions that takes parameters, that take functions as parameters. So we have three categories of them. We have the high order functions. They are filters, they are methods that can be used to filter a collection. These include, I give the list of them. So what they do mostly is you give them a function that takes one data type and return a boolean. I will explain that later. Then we have these transformers. These transformers are functions that takes at least an input collection and create a new output, like transforming from int to string or from int to boolean. These are transformers. I have listed them. You can check the Scala API documentation online. Then we have grouping. These high order functions take uh, uh, a collection and split them. They group them into different behaviors based on the function that you've imputed in them. So I'm going to play around with the first one, which is the map function. The map function is I'm going to okay. So let's take example. We have a list of say I'm going to create a list which is equal to let's say 1 until 10. So I hope you're seeing my screen.
Yeah, we're seeing your screen. Yeah.
So you can see my list. Okay, great. So now I have a list. I have a list of 1 until 10. Or let me just create it. Val list is equal to a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's just. Okay, now we have a list. So we want to use like the map is a transformer. It transforms values for us. So we want to use the map function, which takes another function. So let's define a function. Let's say add one. This function is called add one. It takes a value int and add one to it, x plus one. Let's make it simple. So what we're going to do now is, because higher order functions take functions as variables, so we're going to take this add one and impute it as a variable into our map function. So we have the list dot the map. So because we're going to map, we can simply just say let's add one. This will do the magic. So what map does is, this is a shortcut of it, but we can do it this way. Add map list.map. So we take x and we'll say add 1 and we'll pass the value x to it. This is the same thing. So if you look carefully, you see that this is a function that takes an int and return an int. So it's transforming an int to an int, but this time it's adding 1 to it. So this is the signature of it, the abstract signature. It takes an a, which is an int, and return the same int. We can do so many other things like transform. Let's say we want to multiply. We can say define to double. So this function takes an int and return that x to double. That's just example. So we are transforming int to double. So we can do it for the list. We'll say list.map, then we'll put to double. This is automatically transforming for us. So we move to another higher order function called filter, which I discussed earlier. This one takes a data type. The function is to filter based on a condition. So like you have an int and it takes a value and return a boolean, a true or false. So with our previous example, we know that Scala collections have this function in it. So we do filter. Let's define a function that gets all even numbers in our collection. So this is an even numbers. It takes an int and return if the remainder is 0, it should return true. So we don't need to explicitly state. I believe Ikenna has discussed that Scala expressions, all codes are expressions. So this is an expression of if-else statement, even without you seeing the if-else. So now we have a function that takes an int and return a boolean. So now we could do that to it, filter, we want to filter for all values, so we'll put even. So now it's going to return a filter based on the condition that we put there. So this is the whole idea behind high order functions. All of them have the same principle, meaning just impute a function to them, they will be able to iterate over and give you the end result. So we'll look at another one, partition. So what partition does is an example of the grouping high order functions. It divides your collection uh, into different groups based on the function that you've imputed. So if you have like uh, our previous list, that remember you can define the function inside it. You mustn't explicitly define the function before you impute in it. So for this one, we're going to define it in. We'll say I want to partition my collection where x, if x in module is equal to 0. So what this will do is it will divide my collection into two. The first one will be the true value, and the second one will be the false value. So you could see we have a tuple of two collection of two, a list of int and a list of int. The first one is the true value of this, that is all even numbers, and the second one all odd numbers. So that is partition for you. I listed them here, so you can go through each of them and see how to play around with them during the code session. Then the last one is I want to discuss is the fold. Order function, but a bit more higher than the rest. I would prefer to call it higher order functions, because you need to have a good understanding of how it works. We have the fold left, which starts, the fold generally starts from left. We have the fold left, which is from the left. We have the fold right, which is from the right. We have the scan left. It's also the same thing. It scans from the left, looking for a particular value, scan right, and the rest. So fold left normally have this signature. The first one is you just need to define a default value for which it will start. Then you put an expression, a function for it that takes two values and return a single value. So high order functions like fold normally return a single value, not a list of values. So we could do a lot with fold. Example, we want to add all the elements in the collection, in our collection of list. So we could do, okay, define add x is an int, y is an int, then just return x plus y. So it's a function that takes two ints and return an int. So if we do this, we'll do list.fold. We'll put the initial value. I don't know if Ikena discussed about multiple parameter list, but
We didn't get to that.
it's easy. Just okay, but it's going to be easy. So you just do this. It's going to add everything in the list. So you can also, I defined this explicitly, but I can define it internally. So we'll do list.fold with, let's start with 0, then underscore plus, underscore plus. What this will do is, if you have a list, the fold will start from here. It takes the first value, that is x, then it takes the second value, that is y, then it it does the function x plus y, the answer will be 3, so it will take 3, it will replace it with x, then it will take 3 here, that will be our y, then it will add it up, so it will be 6. Then we have 6 now, and 6 will be our x, then it will add it to 4, it will be 10. That's how it continues doing until it gets to the last element in the list. So it's going to give you the same thing. We can as well do, this is a collection. Okay, we want to get the highest value in our collection. We have to get the max. We can write a function, let's say, define max. So it's a function that takes x as an int, y, it takes 2 values and compare. Then it says, let's do if x is greater than y, return x, else return y. So now we've defined a function that does that. So we could put it in our fold. Okay, fold starting from 0, and we'll put max. Max is going to return 10 because in our collection, remember, we have, this is our collection, this is our initial collection, 10 is the max. So you could imagine this during our, I think yesterday we had this WhatsApp chat that somebody were comparing Flint and Spark. Are the foundations of them. These are the foundation of all of them, the fold left, and the likes of them. So you see a lot of things like this. There is the concept is the same. You can get them in all functional programming languages, but this is how Scala does it. So imagine if you have, Ikena was discussing about like a case class, like a case class of let's say case class food, then we'll have name, which is a string, and we'll have price, which is int. So if you have, say, a collection of food or a collection of students in your application, you can do a lot with this without having to every minute hitting the database, doing SQL, lots of stuff. You can just, if for example you're querying 50 students and you want to get the highest in the subject, you want to get the lowest in the subject, you want to get the average, you can use high order functions to do that without having to write a lot of queries hitting the database. So you could do something like this. Let's say we have a list of food. One is rice, and it's how much is a bag of rice right now? I think it's around 18,000. Then we have food. We have beans. We have let's say 6,000. Then we have food. Yam. Let's say 5,000. Oh, I need to. Sorry. Rice. Said, yeah, they are strings. So I did not. Sorry. Yeah. So now you have your list of food. You can do. You can do. We can write max, define, let's say max price. So it's a function that takes x, which is a food, and y, which is another food, a type of food. So we'll do if x dot price, which is a variable, is greater than y dot price, return X, else return Y. So we have a mark, so we can do my initial, I did not specify it, Scala did it for me, so let's do fold, starting with, we have to put a food, so let's say food is an empty string with a 0 value, and we'll do max price. Now you get it. It will give you this. So you can do it. You can do mean price. Let's say minimum price. I hope you're getting what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. Very simple. So mean price. Mean price. So we could do this for get mean price, and it will give us 0 because we actually gave we created this initial value was 0, so it gave us 0. So I think that is all for now. Hopefully, if you have any questions, you could ask so that we'll be able to be on the same page.
Kabir, we'll just take one more question before we close. Yeah, go on.
Actually, ask a question on the chat. Check the chat. They're asking about.
On WhatsApp?
No, on GoToMeeting.
Okay. All right. So on GoToMeeting, there's a question there for you on GoToMeeting.
Okay. Okay. Question for fold 0. What does 0 mean? 0 will be the initial value to start your iterations with. For example, in the add, we inserted 0. So it will start from 0 plus 1 is 1, then it will proceed. So if we wanted to start with 10, a multiple of 10, so it will be, let's see, this is our list. So we do list dot fold, let's add 10 to it, and we do add. So you see, it's going to give you 66. Why the previous answer was list dot fold, if we had given it 0, we do add, we get 55. So that 0 is our initial value. Is if you've done some little things about functional programming, it's our initial value or our 0 value, they call it. Okay. Any other question? So you can also do it the same. You can do fold.
Sorry,
we're 0, and I want to get the minimum value. So I think that is it. Have I exhausted my 25 minutes?
I think it looks like, yeah.
Hello? Oh, okay, great. I think I will stop here for now. If you have any questions, I'm still online. You can buzz me. This is my Twitter handle. I'm also available. This is my mobile number, 6869000. This is my Twitter handle at being Kabir. So you can buzz me and ask me any question on Scala. Definitely, I'm going to give you answers.